Good afternoon, everybody. While he's setting up, I'll just do a little preamble. So I was told that Ashish Rakeja is going to speak before me, and his topic is vast, very interesting. So it's going to go on a little longer. So I've made mine very small, 5-10 minutes, and we'll be done. In fact, a lot of my slides are actually what Mr. Rakeja has written in that 10,001 Indian Environment Quality, the ISHRE handbook, and it's very nice. Fantastic job, sir. So we'll just start. I'll just. So in a multi-faceted environment like this, when there are all sorts of visitors or attendees, it becomes a little difficult to figure out what amount of technical information to put in, especially indoor air quality itself is a 1 or 2 hour subject, and you can go really deep into the technicality. So I've tried to keep the slide simple, just to give you a understanding of where we are as far as IQ is concerned, and what we can do going ahead. So indoor air quality is one of the 4 components. It's one of the slides that Ashish had also put up, which is IAQ, and the 4 components of IAQ is thermal comfort, indoor air quality, visual and acoustic comfort. So my topic is IAQ, and so we'll just start about that. So a human being on an average breathes about 12,000 liters of air in a day, and because of that the quality of the air becomes very important over the life of a person. 12,000 liters into 365 into average lifespan of say 75 years. So the indoor air quality is considered healthy when the air in the built environment has concentration of pollutants which are considered not to be harmful to the human body, except in very sterile environments like operating theaters and certain manufacturing facilities where you require to be absolutely sterile. Every built environment where people stay, reside, work is going to have a certain amount of pollutants. Now, what is the extent of that pollutant and whether it is acceptable at a level which is acceptable or not, that is the important thing. So all these things are measured as an overall in using the air quality index, which reports at the government level, which reports the quality of the air that we are breathing outside. And that same AQI can also be applied to a built environment, because ultimately most people spend time indoors. So the pollutants that we need to look at, there are quite a lot of them, but the significant pollutants which if we control can give us a healthy environment are CO2. CO2 is not, carbon dioxide is not a pollutant by itself, but in a enclosed space, the amount of CO2 tends to increase. So whereas in the outside it is average 400 to 1000 ppm, indoors it can go up to 2000 ppm, especially if a proper ventilation system is not implemented in the building, especially in houses where we have simple split units, the windows and all are shut, and over a period of time, especially if there are many people, that goes on increasing. Carbon monoxide is a much more dangerous pollutant, because if it is odorless, it is colorless, and it's highly toxic, and usually people succumb even before realizing it. So this is one thing which needs to be especially taken care of. Then there are particulate matters, that is your PM10 and PM2.5, which are inhalable and they get assimilated in your lungs and they get absorbed. All people who smoke cigarettes they get exposed to these kind of particulate matters. And of course, there are also spaces like kitchens and other environments where these particulate matters make a big difference. So, apart from this, there are VOCs, that's volatile organic compounds. They come up naturally from the materials that are used in our interiors and in the buildings, like for instance the carpets, the wood, any wooden like doors, plywood, laminates, the things that we make and use. So special attention should also be taken for this. We have formaldehydes, and there's also something called TBC, which is the bacterial or viral count. When I started making this presentation a few months ago on IAQ, that time COVID was still there, and I thought the whole focus of this IAQ would be on COVID, but hardly 2-3 people are wearing masks. I think we have more or less put COVID behind us, so we won't focus so much. But it's relatively easy, as Ashish was saying, to manage this kind of thing just by following the standards of ISHRAE and ASHRAE, and then by adding some new UVGI filtration methods which pretty much take care of this whole thing. Just to give you an idea of the particulate matter and why it is so important, if you see in this slide, the size of a human hair is 50 to 70 micrometers, and PM10 is less than 10 micrometers and PM2.5 is less than 2.5 micrometers. So it becomes very, very important to manage this particular pollutant or aspect of indoor air quality. This is the air quality index and the pollutants, and it just gives you an idea of what is what is good, which is green, moderate. Then there is and it keeps getting higher and higher, where it becomes very hazardous. They say that the best way to control the indoor air quality or to control anything is that if you can monitor it. And fortunately, with IoT and AI, now that has become quite easy, and it has also become economical. What would require a testing lab to come and set up big equipment, and then you would take readings over the period of a month, 2 months, 3 months. Now it can be, it's with using IoT, it can happen like in real time. Like there are some of these devices which are available in the market costing even 10,000-15,000 rupees, which do a pretty good job. They are not lab accurate perhaps, but they are easily able to give you, and you get a green, yellow, orange and red signage which tells you that what measures you need to take. So there are basically two methods of IoT management. One is of your IAQ management. One is using treated fresh air systems. It's nothing new. ISHRAE and ASHRAE standards are very, very detailed and specific about how you can do it. I don't need to get into that, but now that we have these kind of sensors and real-time information available, we can also save the amount of some energy by doing demand control ventilation of the treated fresh air systems. So the air treatment systems in a built environment are there's filtration. You can use air filters. Then you get portable and standalone air treatment units, and you can also get a system like UVG, ultraviolet light and ionizers, which get incorporated into the air conditioning system. And this is very useful in a larger space like offices and commercial retail environments where there's a lot of people. There's a lot of chance of particulate matters and other pollutants coming into the picture. So these are some of the devices that you can buy ready-made from the market, and they do a fairly good job. Some of these portable systems also have a high level of filtration. They use HEPA filters, and you can get real-time information from the sensors that they have. For the commercial segment, you have these in-air systems like an air ionizer, which release negative ions, and they help the particulate matters to clump together. So they become heavier, and then they fall to the ground or onto the walls, and then they can be picked up by vacuum cleaners or other systems to clean. And the UVC germicidal light is very effective. It's a very low energy form of indoor air quality management, and that is something that can be used especially when there are air handling units and larger air conditioning systems. So that brings me to the end. I mean, this is the last slide. Any questions anybody has, I can take it. Otherwise we'll move to the next speaker. Thank you.